of Scotland. Live Premiership action here at Easter Road. Hibernian versus St Johnstone. The teams are out on the pitch. Kick-off is just moments away. So let's settle in for this one with our commentary team of Michael Stewart, Callum Davidson and Rob McLean.
Cheers, Andy. I'm loving Callum's optimism, and it might have something to do with the three of us were together at Dens Park last Tuesday night, and it wasn't a feast of thrills and spills, really, was it, that goalless draw against Ross County? But I'm glad you're going for 7 goals to even things up tonight, Carl.
Plenty to talk about. It'll be a nice, easy game to commentate on, you know.
We love that, certainly.
I want you to talk about set plays tonight, you know, and what I like about set plays, so let's hope it's...
That'll be a godsend if we manage to steer you clear from that.
That's all I can talk about goal kicks if you want.
No, you're okay. You're fine. We'll get back to you on that one. So just about all set to go then here at Easter Road, and it is a full Premiership programme, of course, between tonight. This is the only game tonight, but the other 10 teams all involved tomorrow with Celtic and St Mirren and Dundee against Rangers, Hearts Livingston, Motherwell Aberdeen, and St Johnstone against Kilmarnock. 3 championship games, of course, going on tonight, and we will keep you across what is happening between Airdrie and Dundee United, Morton and Raith Rovers, Partick Thistle against Ayr United, the 3 games in the second tier tonight. But main focus for us is on this one, as both these teams try to navigate their way through a busy little spell. It certainly has been for Malky Mackay's team in terms of travelling around the country. That Dundee game, which we're trying to wipe from our memory banks last Tuesday night. Then, of course, that last gasp revival from Motherwell, which robbed Ross County of all 3 points at the weekend. And now, of course, in the capital to face a Hibs team showing 4 changes from the one which took a point against Celtic here at the weekend. And despite the manager chat we've had from Callum, I think I'm reckoning that the lineup might just have something to do with Hampden at the weekend. They want to win tonight, of course. They want to get all 3 points tonight, but it's a massive one coming up for Nick Montgomery and Hibs at the National Stadium in that League Cup semi-final at the weekend. How will this one go more immediately? Well, we are underway at Easter Road. Hibs against Ross County. Grant Irvin is the man in the middle. Greg Aitken is running the VAR, if that be the right phrase. We'll see how it goes in the course of the evening. And the ball is quickly out of play just underneath us. We're at the top of the main stand, looking down on Lewis Miller, taking the first throw-in of the game, and he flings it into the centre circle for Rocky Bushiri. He is alongside Will Fish in central defence, and on the ball now, Lewis Stevenson back in the team, and Dylan Levitt getting an early touch in the midfield as well on his return. Some significant absentees for Hibs tonight. How can they do without them? Driving run down the left side from Stevenson, and winning a throw-in for Hibs close to the corner flag. James Brown sliding in with the challenge, and Stevenson to take the throw-in. Jair Tavares making himself available, but he can't get the touch, and in trying to return the ball to Stevenson, it's gone out of play for a Ross County throw. Ross County, who won 2 of their first 4 games of the season, and the defeats were against Rangers and Celtic, so they got off to a very strong start. They've only won once since, but they do have 9 points on the board, and of course the league being so tightly packed at the moment that generally for one of the teams in the middle, if they can get a win, then they are rocketing themselves up the league. It's not a great start from Hibs, losing a bit of composure as they're trying to play the ball out from the back, and they've gifted a corner kick early on to Ross County.
Well, you saw there as soon as the ball went back the way and it went to Rocky Bushiri, the Ross County team were pressing right up the park, making sure they were tight on the midfielders, and Bushiri just took a second or 2 longer than he probably should have, and then eventually he slips into midfield, and it wasn't a particularly great ball, and Jago had to clear his lines.
In it comes. The corner kick was played back to a deep area to give them an angle for a ball into the box, which Hibs got clear. In the centre circle, Purrington looks to angle the ball back out wide for Brown. Laturi on the byline, a goal scorer, Victor Laturi at the weekend at Motherwell. Back it goes for Kyle Turner, his cross ball in, good header away by Will Fish, And now Hibs looking to counter-attack, but in goes Paddington with a good challenge to win it in the middle before careering into Lewis Miller and in the end conceding a free kick.
Both teams have actually set up 4-4-2, which is actually quite unusual in this day and age. You know, I think Hibs have gone more expansive with the two wide players, where Ross County are really tight with Turner. I think it's Turner. Who's the other one? Laturi playing off the left. They're really squeezing the game, Michael, aren't they? That cross, and they're trying, as you say, press that sort of first and second pass, especially when it goes backwards.
Conor Randall in the midfield with a pass which should have been controlled by Simon Murray. Lets it get away from him, and the ball slips behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, you can see Laturi, not so much. I think it's a little bit lopsided. Turner's a wee bit wider than Laturi, but yeah, he's on the left. It's almost like a boxing midfield that Ross County are playing, and making sure that there is very little space for Hibs midfield to play. You can see there's a bye kick here that, because of that setup, it's forced them that little bit longer, because Laturi and Turner just latching on to the two sitting midfielders of Hibs.
Laturi clips the ball down the line, just skids away from Murray and goes out. Strange to see a Hibs team without David Marshall in goals. Jojo Wollacott making his Premiership debut, domestic debut for Hibs, having featured in the first European game of the season. Ghanaian international. And one of 4 changes to the Hibs team. Down the line it goes for the home team, helped on by Venter, cleared by Baldwin. Chasing it is Brophy, but it's bouncing through to Wollacott, who very confidently bowls the ball out quickly to Stevenson on the left-hand side.
Well, that's where Hibs need to get the ball to. They need to get their fullbacks there, the out ball. They're the ones that have got all the space because of that narrow midfield that Ross County are playing. So they need to be getting the ball into the wide players, feeding the wide, into the fullbacks, and feeding the wide players as quickly as possible, because they've got the opportunity in those areas, if they get the ball quickly to them, to get 1v1s against the fullback.
Yeah, it's really interesting. It looks like Malky's allowed the ball to go wide, isn't it?
Yep.
Try to squeeze the pitch one side. Getting key for Hibs here, if they can get the ball, and can they switch it quickly and get that quick attack down one side. But again, will it be interesting to see as the game goes, will they be able to do it?
And further forward from the two fullbacks, it's Jair Tavares on the left and Eli Yuan on the right at the moment for Hibs. The ball is back with Ross Laidlaw in goal for Ross County. Plays it to Ryan Leake, wearing number 42, the left-sided centre-back. Clips it forward, headed away by Fish, and a nice driven pass by Levitt down the side for Lafondra, and on the overlap is Yuan. Good challenge, Allardyce stopping in his tracks for Ross County, and another good challenge from the former Inverness Cali Thistle player. Gets it away up to halfway. Will Fish switches the ball across for Stevenson, and wide of the captain is Jair Tavares, who looks to jink his way in field. James Brown sticking close. A nice slotted pass into the box for Lafondra. Just couldn't quite link up with Venter, who was alongside him. County get it clear. Inventive though from Hibs early on, and Levitt beginning to show what he's got about him.
Well, there was a couple of passes from Levitt. There was one that he zipped round the corner quickly, that was able to get Hibs initially off on an attack down the right-hand side, and in that one, where he had plenty of space in the middle of the park, and slide rule pass into Lafondra's feet, I think he had the opportunity to actually take a touch rather than trying to first time spin and lay the ball into the path of his strike partner Venter. He fell over and missed the ball effectively, but it was a very, very nice pass from Dylan Levitt to begin with.
It was a good pass from the sublime to the ridiculous. We've just seen Rocky Bashiri missing out on a pass to Lewis Stevenson by about 5 yards, and it went out for a throw-in, and that will not please Nick Montgomery. But it's going to be interesting to see what Dylan Levitt can do for Hibs, isn't it, if he gets a run of injury-free games, Callum?
He was a quality player last year, Dun United. He's the one player that can make things happen. We've already seen little glimpses so far, you know, of his quality. It looks like the Laturi and Turner are going to sit on the two midfielders when in possession. So it'll be interesting how much ball he gets and how high up he can get the ball.
Lovely touch and spin from Jair Tavares, and the challenge from the back was from Conor Randall to stop him.
Great turn. You know, I love to see that from, I know he's a wide man, but even from midfielders, you know, so often they just take the ball, touch it, play it safe, but have awareness of where on the park you are. You take a turn like that, you wipe out their whole midfield and you're driving at their back line.
Ewan's pass towards the byline for Hibs. Jimmy Jago was chasing it, but he wasn't going to catch it. It's gone behind for a goal kick. Hibs 0, Ross County 0 with 8 minutes gone.
See, I was just going to touch on Dylan Levitt. You know, for me, you can see he's got quality, but there's far too many games I've watched that he doesn't do enough. You know, for the quality that he's got, he needs to. You know, he's at a stage now where he's been at a few clubs. He's old enough and experienced enough that he needs to learn, you know, where to be and how to dominate games, because he's got the ability to be able to do it, but he has to impose himself on the game more. You know, that passing ability, the passing range he's got, he needs to be taking the ball in all circumstances and start attacks. Start what we've just seen with those 2 passes, but doing it frequently.
Yeah, I mean, he's set the bar for himself, hasn't he, by the quality he's shown already. He's still only 22. There's lots of time for him to develop. But
he's but that C22 now, that's when he really needs to start making that impact, for me, personally.
Yeah. He should be really saying to the manager, you got to play me every week. Look what I can do for you.
Yep.
I'm going to do it week in, week out. I'm not going to do it in little bits, you know, little sort of moments in games. I'm going to be there all the time. You know, I think for me, Levitt obviously great going forward. I think probably one of the reasons he doesn't always in the team is the defensive capabilities. But then when you play him higher up in a 3, sometimes he can't get involved in the game at times because he can't see that range of passing. So
exactly,
he's got to add little bits to his game that can say, you can start me any formation you play.
Yep.
I'm playing, and that's the thing he's now got to do at his age, 22. For me, he's not young.
Yep, that's exactly the point I'm making. You know, that Callum is articulated there. That, you know, there's aspects of his game, especially with playing 4-4-2, that he needs to improve on. And if he plays in the 3, he needs to learn how to impact the game. And if he's going to play that little bit further forward, he needs to learn how to get on the ball and still dictate the game. Because the technical ability is there for all to see.
Lovely pass from Lefondre to Yuan, right-hand side. Great ball in as well. And Hibs were very close to going in front. Dylan Vente flung himself at it in the 6-yard box. Couldn't make contact. It's gone behind for a corner. Lovely build-up from Hibs.
Yeah, great play. That's a great sort of little 4-4-2 passage of play. It's gone into, I think it was, who was it, Lefondre in there. His little half-turned, rolled Johan down the line. Great ball across the box, but it's actually very good defending by James Brown at the back post.
He's hopefully going to be okay. He's just gingerly getting up off the ground. Him and Vente, the two of them, I think they clattered into each other. But you're right, as a fullback, you know, there's a moment there you're thinking that Vente's about to put it in the back of the net, but the fullback on the far side tucking round and making sure that the striker doesn't get a free attempt at goal.
Corner kick Hibs, Dylan Levitt out swinging from the right-hand side. Headed away by Simon Murray, and Ross County might be onto something on the counter-attack. Brophy's passed down the line. Victor Latourie is there. Back goes Yuan to shut down the space and get the ball out for the throw.
Really poor from Hibs there. You know, I think it's Jago's just standing watching him. You know, it's an easy counter-attack for Ross County. He's got to do better. That's his job.
Do you remember at Ibrox, Calum and I were in the studio watching, there was something very, very similar to that, where counter-attack, Jago's standing in front of the attacking player with Obita was at that time behind them, and he just ball watched and didn't even see where the attacker then moved it. And almost identical to that, Rangers broke up the park, ball almost went into the player that he was initially marking. And yeah, I mean, look, you have one, and it's normally a midfielder, standing in front and the defender behind. You can't then allow that player to get in front of the midfielder, who's Jago. He's got to be, that's where you've got to concentrate. And that's a classic example of, that's got nothing to do with phases of play, passing the ball, being too open. That's just concentration.
12 minutes gone, Hibs 0, Ross County 0. Good positive start from the home team. And the ball is with Fish, who plays it to Yuan and gets it back. And across the back line with Rocky Bashiri now. Fish played it back to Wollacott, but he didn't put too much on the back pass, and it had Simon Murray interested for a moment there, and it had the Ghanaian international goalkeeper hurrying to get rid of that in the end.
That drives you nuts as a manager, that does. The little sloppy passes, you know, just basically gave the ball straight back to Ross County there. But these little things, got to do better. For me, got to do better. Those little simple passes, you know, got to make sure they're better, and it's allowed Ross County to get up the pitch.
Untidy stuff from Hibs, and it will be a throw-in for the Dingwall team midway inside Hibs territory. Ross County can go fifth were they to win this. The way that midsection of the Premiership is at the moment, Hibs can go a place better were they to get maximum tonight, and it could be a fair old week for Nick Montgomery and his team were they to win here and then win at the weekend. Laidlaw launches it forward for Ross County. Fish heads it away, helped on by Yuan. Nice little flick on by Lafondra. Ross County under pressure defensively, but they cope, and Randall clears, and it's over the top of Fish, and Brophy's after it, and Eamon Brophy happy just to let that Fish header meander out of play for a County throw-in close to the corner flag, left hand side. Goalless so far at Easter Road. Keeping you across as time goes on. The championship games, Airdrie Dundee United, Morton Wraith Rovers, Partick Thistle against Ayr, and here it's going to be Jack Baldwin, the county captain, who wanders forward to take what looks like it's going to be a long throw, and there were plenty of them last Tuesday night at Dens Park.
I was just about to say that. I think the goalie caught every one though.
Yeah, I don't think a county head got on the end of any of them.
You'll remember because you're a set piece master, man.
In comes the Baldwin long throw, and a bit like last Tuesday, nobody on the end of it in dark blue, and it's cleared up to halfway where it's collected by James Brown, and he angles a ball across to the far side. Good knockdown towards Simon Murray with his back to goal. Well, he fed the ball back out for the shot at goal, taken on by Allardyce. Never looked convincing over the shot, well off target.
Good ball by James Brown, good diagonal. Randall really strong at the back post, and a good striker should do, get in front of their defender and then lays it off, but again just looked a little bit off his feet when he was trying to strike it.
Just stretching too much, and I mean, look, it was very, very difficult because it's, you know, it's a ball that's laid back, it's bouncing, he's on his left foot. Similar to what I was just saying before when I thought Lafondra could have taken a touch when he was in the box to lay it off for his strike partner. I thought Allardyce had time to get onto the ball, take a touch and set himself, even if he needed to then, you know, check onto his other foot or whatever. I just thought that the chances of being able to get onto the volley bouncing ball, weighs left foot and hit the target, well, it's a slim one at best.
He didn't really take on the opportunity with any great conviction, and Hibs have given the ball away again, but quickly won it back. Credit to Lewis Miller, who slides into another challenge and wins it, comes out on top against Puddington. Miller stays down, play goes on, lovely pass in behind Fish for Brophy. The defender recovers and plays the ball back to Wollacott and out to Bashiri. Into the midfield area for Jair Tavares, with Randall snapping at his heels.
Lewis Miller's down. I mean, he'll be fine. I mean, literally, it was just the two of them, slide tackle into each other, and then it was a wee wrestle on the ground.
Yeah, I think actually Lewis Miller's got up and he's trying to hold Puddington down.
Yeah.
And I think they've just rolled about. You know, he'll be all right.
There's a shock. He's running back.
So back underway.
But by the way, I mean, it's not that he would have been able to affect it at that time because he'd been up the park, but Allardyce, for me, he tried to slide the ball in for Brophy, but Simon Murray was in the space down the line. Rather than try to play it behind the defender, I think he could have easily just hit Simon Murray's feet and let him go and attack. Yeah,
that's the sort of the point I was making at the start of the game. Miller obviously plays really high, and I think Murray's picked up a fantastic position. This is what Ross County are going to have to do well. They're going to have to go in transition, make sure that first or second pass is really solid, get them in a good area, then they can go and try and counter-attack.
It's an 8th game in charge for Nick Montgomery after taking over following the sacking of Lee Johnson. Partick Thistle are 1 up already against Ayr United in the Championship, and surprise, surprise, Brian Graham has got the opening goal of that game. First goal in the Championship on the evening. Still goalless here at Easter Road in the Premiership, as Randall tries to slip a pass down the line for Brophy, and he was quickly shut down, and the ball is out for a throw-in for Malky Mackay.
Really well against on their goal kicks. You know, they've set up, they've tried to press, and what they've allowed it to go back to the goalkeeper. You know, and I think obviously Hibs are going to try and play through the lines, playing out from the back at the moment, not to any real great success. But again, it's really important that Ross County switch on and do the right jobs. You know, because if Hibs can't get half turned, it will be 4v4 at the back, and they will attack with pace if they can do it.
Let's head for Hampden and Amy. That was worth a try, wasn't it?
Yeah, not an awful lot happening at all in the goalmouth action. It's kind of like the last time you and I had done this. I was here for the Belgian game. Can't remember quite where you were, but I think you were in Kilmarnock. It wasn't a very exciting game either. Scotland just had a wee dominant spell of possession there, actually, a string of corners, but nothing too, not creating anything too testing for the Dutch back line. Other than that, it's been pretty dominant from the Netherlands. But it's 20 minutes where Scotland haven't conceded. The shape's looking pretty decent, swapping between a sort of 4 at the back, 5 at the back. Rachel Corset is in the midfield, the captain, usually in the heart of defence, but yeah, not too much happening here, so maybe don't come back to me.
Yeah, I think we have shared some goal-starved games in the past, Amy, but the minute anything happens, we will be back to Hampden for that Scotland against Netherlands game in the Women's Nation League.
Really difficult for Ross County when they're trying to sort of build the play. You know, I think it's because they're playing so narrow with their midfield too. It's really hard for them to actually get any real patterns of play out from the back. If Hibs press them properly, they will go long and they should retain possession.
Best part of 20 minutes gone at Easter Road. It's Hibs 0, Ross County 0. You would hope for goals tonight based on the defensive records of these two teams. Only Hibs have been worse in the Premiership in terms of conceding goals this season than Ross County. Not much in it. The ball is back with a Wallacott just outside his penalty box as he works it across to the right, and Lewis Miller nutmegs Victor Laturi, and the ball is on its way to Rocky Bashiri, who drives up to halfway, and then short range pass to Dylan Levitt, and on his right hand side Will Fish. Levitt dropping in between the two centre backs for Hibs to link it together, and now wide left with Stevenson and Tavares, and infield it goes to Jego. Alongside him Lafondra, 30 yards out, tried to thread it through for Yuan, and it was a good spot by Will Leake.
Good striker play from Lafondra there. You know, it's good sort of passage of play from Hibs. Have kept the ball, he's dropped in a really good area. I'd actually like to see him shoot from there. You know, he's 25 yards out.
Here's Yuan into the box, right hand side, clips it back for Jair Tavares, and his shot at the sting taken out of it, and it spins into the gloves in the end of Roy Laidlaw. That was really well worked by Hibs.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, getting some penetration, Yuan in behind, and not a bad cutback. I'm not totally convinced that Tavares' strike was going to trouble Laidlaw even without the deflection, but yeah, when Lafondra picked that up on the edge of the box, yeah, I mean, look, you can have the strike by all means. I don't think it was that difficult a pass. I think, you know, he had enough space to be able to either nutmeg the defender or just shift it ever so slightly to the side to find the right angle to get into the path of his partner up front, and unfortunately for him, he hit the defender and the attack was brought to an end.
It was pretty pleasing in the eye, the build up there to that chance for Tavares. And now it's Yuan popping up in the middle of the pitch and trying to angle the ball out wide for Lafondra. Paddington was there to win it for Ross County, and he has it back the left back as Turner plays it in his direction again. Down the line for Murray. Got himself to 10 goals at the weekend. Partick 1, Ayr 1. Jamie Murphy has the equaliser. For the honest men, it's 1-1 at Firhill, and it's goalless in the other two games in the Championship. Well, Dundee United are ahead. The leaders in front at Airdrie, Fotheringham has them looking as if they're going to continue on their merry way. Meantime here, free kick given against Victor Luturi. Just about 10 yards inside the Ross County half, still waiting for a breakthrough in the capital.
Not really sure about that one. I thought it was a good tackle, and it's one of those ones where he tackles him, takes the ball first, and he just keeps sliding. Not sure what you're meant to do on a greasy pitch now.
Give up.
Don't tackle.
Dylan Levitt over the free kick, just squares it to Fish.
That was never a free kick.
Back from Dzeko. It's a good challenge by Eamon Brophy against Fish, who dallied on it, and Eamon Brophy wins the throw for Canty on the halfway line. It's been a mixture from Hibs, hasn't it, of good things and a few sloppy things as well.
Yeah, I think Johan's the one who looks like he's going to open up the defence, you know, and I think at the back again, just that little bit of sloppiness in the pass, you know. I think Bashiri's had a couple, Fish has had a couple, and I think it's really important that they start the game well, because if they do that, then they get their attacking players on the ball. So for me, Bashiri and Fish have to be a little bit better in possession.
Baldwin to Brown for Ross County. Right hand side, forward it goes. Turner tries to flick it on, and just gets away from Simon Murray, racing into the box to try to be on the end of that. Off his line came Wallacott, who's looked pretty confident and composed so far in goal in place of David Marshall.
I think I know what you're going to say, Michael. I think it's on when the goalie plays out quickly. I think, can they go forward quicker? It was too slow. You know, they had basically man for man at the back with Ross County. Can they look to go and attack at a little bit more pace?
I just look at centre midfielders nowadays, and there's so many of them just play so safe. When you've got actually without any real pressure on the ball, go and commit the opponent, and then it's only a 5 or 10 yard slide pass.
Kyle Turner plays it in, Murray to Brown!
Oh,
and James Brown very nearly scores a spectacular one at Easter Road here. It was really well built up. Kyle Turner, Simon Murray setting him up, and from an angle you were just waiting for that to nestle in the top corner. It's whistled just wide.
Yeah, I think again it was Stevenson really high up. Hibs again gave the ball away. I think it was Allardyce, good composure. Turner's made the run. It's a nice, lovely little interchange. I think with Brophy and Brown, he's just side-footed past the post. That would have been a fantastic goal for Ross County to put that one away.
It was a good move from Ross County, as Callum says, just exploiting the full-back getting caught a little bit high. And lovely little sort of one-touch passing from 2 or 3 players there, with the full-back eventually getting in. Slightly tight, the angle, but still you were expecting the net to bulge.
Yeah,
because the layoff was perfect. You know, weighted perfectly for him.
I'm liking the contribution here of Scott Allardyce. He's just won a great ball in the middle, driven forward, won a free kick. He was at the start of that last move that ended with the chance for James Brown. He's being an influence here for Canty.
Yeah, really important player. I think Randall and Allardyce are the 2 real key players here, and if they can get that transition like they did there, they will get chances. But Malkybu delighted with that move.
It's Kyle Turner with the free kick into the box for Canty, cleared as far as Luturi, and Scott Allardyce plays it back towards Ben Purrington to loft one into the box. Eamon Brophy attacking it, but it's looping well wide of target in the end for a Hibs goal kick.
Yeah, got to be a bit better ball from Purrington there. He's just kind of flowed it in. I think Brophy's got sort of cut underneath the ball. Not sure who's round about him. But again, Ross County will be quite positive in the last 45 minutes. You know, they've sort of come back into the game a little bit. You can see where their chances are going to come from. You can probably see where Hibs' chances are going to come from too. So
the top 2 both ahead in the Championship. Dundee United in front, we told you about. Raith Rovers have gone in front. Connolly has scored in Greenock. Morton 0, Raith Rovers 1. Dundee United a goal up at Airdrie. And Purrington to launch the ball forward here for Ross County against Hibs, which is still goalless in the Premiership. Yuan's header, interception. Purrington flicks it forward for Luturi. Good work from Victor Luturi, really good feet, skillful play from him, and suddenly County are making real progress down the left-hand side. Murray jinks his way inside, loses the ball, and now it's Hibs looking to counter with Jair Tavares. Lofts one down the right side for Adam Lafondra, looking for a bit of support. Behind him is Yuan. In for Tavares, back out wide again. Eli Yuan looking to make something happen here for Hibs. Rolls it back towards Levitt. No way through. He tried to thread it and it was blocked by Laturi.
Oh, if Hibs wait any longer, they might get 11 men behind the ball, make it even more difficult for them to attack. I mean, look, there was a couple of occasions there where certain Hibs players, Johan, slow to get up and support Lafondra, then the ball came back to him, he's 1v1 and he waits for Ross County to get the bodies back in position, and then he's got two players up against them. I mean, that's just understanding when the space is there to go and exploit, and it shows a little bit of urgency, jogging up to go and support your opposition, your teammate, and then when you're in that space, I mean, he's what, 12 yards from the byline, and he's 1v1, and he's blistering pace. Why not get into the box and go and take the fullback on?
I think you've seen both sides of Johan tonight there. You know, he's been great. He's a couple of great chances down the line, but there, just go and take him on. Just go and ask questions. You know, might get a corner, might get deflected cross.
28 minutes gone, and it comes from Lewis Miller with the long throw, and the shot from Stevenson just outside the box goes narrowly wide.
A really good position there.
That was.
I'll let you correct it.
He would have been in nosebleed territory.
Yeah, exactly.
There, Stevenson. It was Lafondra.
It must have been an 80-yard shot he had there. I think it's really intelligent. You can see how Lafondra scored a lot of goals. And he picks up really intelligent positions. The ball's coming. He's not in there fighting. He's reacted to that ball dropping.
Forward it goes from Leak for Ross County. Headed forward by Fish for Hibs. Levitt with a quick pass into the feet of Jair Tavares down the inside left channel. Wide of him, Stevenson, and behind is Jago. Best part of half an hour played, and still Hibs nil, Ross County nil. BBC Radio Scotland. Jago again, right in the middle of the pitch. Turner tries to shut him down. Back from Bushiri. You can hear what the Hibs fans think about that. Back to Wallacott. And now Fish takes a touch, clumsy touch, tries to drive with the ball, but he's coughed up possession to Allardyce. And now Laturi down the left-hand side for Simon Murray. Back onto the right foot, swings in across, and the minute he struck it, it was beyond the two in the middle for Ross County.
Yeah, again, Fish a little bit sloppy in possession. Another great chance. Malky's raging down the sideline, because I think that's the opportunity. Hold on, there's a chance.
It's Eli Yuan, left-hand side, getting into the box, trying to clear it into the 6-yard area for Venter, but it was cut out, and it's gone behind for a corner kick.
Yeah, I think they were Murray there. You're on a quick transition, so it's not the time to cross it. It's the time to pass it in the box. There's loads of space. You know, really frustrated, I think, Malky with that, because there's a brilliant opportunity, and then quickly again, a lot better from Hibs on the other side. Quick transition again up to Johan, gets in the penalty box, and just a poor ball in the end, but again, good play from Hibs to counter.
Corner kick left-hand side for Hibs. Roll to Johan, gets it back in towards the penalty spot, looking for Jair Tavares. It was well seen and well cut out by Ryan Leake, and now Ross County are getting forward with Turner, but he was surrounded by green and white shirts, and it's deflected back to Wallacott.
I think again, it's for me, I'm going to pick on him a little bit, but Jago's just hung a leg out there, and he's got to do better to stop the ball, because that's a great. I think young Kyle Turner's just ran out of legs as he's got forward. But again, another great opportunity for Ross County to break.
Goalless at Easter Road. Fish on the ball. Taken on now by Dylan Levitt, the Welsh international midfielder, ex of Dundee United, and looking to make an impact with Hibs. He's on it again in the centre circle.
I would like to see Levitt. Michael's already talked about it, so I'll probably talk about it. He's got acres of space, get his head up, he's got a fantastic range of passing. You know, can he go and hurt them? Is it pressure? I don't know what it is, but again, it's just a safe pass. You know, I think Michael could still do that. You know, he can still play in the game.
Steady.
Might pull his hamstring passing it, but I think, you know, I want to see him play forward. He's great talent, you know. I think that will definitely cause Ross County more problems.
I thought you mean I could still drive forward.
Could you do that?
I'll get the calf. The ball is with Wallacott, Jojo Wallacott, making his Premiership debut for Hibs tonight. Nothing too much to disturb him as Bushiri plays the ball forward and comfortably headed away by Ryan Leake for Ross County, collected by Scott Allardyce in the midfield. Conor Randall gets the break of the ball. Now he's driving forward with it and he flicks the ball towards Kyle Turner. And now James Brown, right-hand side for Ross County. Back it goes to Baldwin.
That was better from Bushiri. Lewis taking a chance. He's seen an open space. He's trying to play the forward pass a little bit higher, and Hibs would have got obviously a 1v1 with the goalie.
Free kick goes against Allardyce for his challenge on Jago. Out on the right-hand side. Just about 10 yards in from the touchline. It's going to be Dylan Levitt over the set piece. And forward go both Bushiri and Fish to augment what Hibs have lined up along the edge of the penalty box. In it comes from Levitt. Useful delivery. Bushiri was attacking it, and in the end headed behind by Baldwin for the corner kick.
Great ball, really good ball from Levitt. And yeah, I just wondering whether Rocky Bushiri's just caught under it slightly, or whether he could have just timed the run a little bit better. But anyway, it was a wonderful ball and it put the defence under serious pressure. Ends up being a good defensive header there from Baldwin.
Can Dylan Levitt come up with another good delivery from the corner kick this time? Whipped in at the near post, headed away by Murray. Brophy tries to get there.
I mean,
that was better, but that was Louis Stevenson dealing with it. It shouldn't really be him dealing with it, but I thought he actually dealt with it a lot better with that, obviously at the back.
He did, but it becomes like a foot race there. I mean, I'm just astonished at how often Hibs, from their own corners, like run the risk of being countered on or losing the ball when it goes forward, and they've got 2v1. I mean, whether Jago doesn't have the concentration to do it, I mean, everybody should, then if he can't do it, they need to change him. They need to get somebody that can sit in front of the attacker and just shield it and make sure that the attacker doesn't get the ball.
This is our new set play today. This is our set plays. We're not talking about set plays, we're talking about transition on corners.
My concern is that we're becoming the goalless draw correspondents.
Oh, don't start.
Because we're about 35 minutes in and this game is still goalless, and neither goalkeeper has hit anything serious to deal with.
Still plenty of time for those 7 goals that Callum was predicting.
We're only 7 short at the moment. James Brown on the right side. Turner tucks it back towards Baldwin and he switches it across for Purrington on the left-hand side for the Dingwall team. Quickly down the line, Laturi, nice little shimmy against Miller. Facing up to the full-back now, Laturi threads it through, little nutmeg to Purrington, who couldn't control it. And Venta plays it away for Hibs, but gives it away for Hibs. Straight back to Jack Baldwin.
Again, don't quite understand Lewis Miller's position there. He's standing in front of the defender and trying to play offside, but...
Nice build up from Ross County. Meantime, Brown into the box on the end of Brophy's pass. Purrington is there as well. There's a bit of shirt tugging going on in the end, much to Hibs' relief. They get the free kick. They could so easily have been caught out.
Great little interchange again down there right hand side. Unfortunately, probably Ross County's 2 full-backs were involved. Again, you'd probably like to see Brophy or Murray more in the box there, but again, good passage of play from Ross County.
There's been plenty of promising lead-up work, but nothing much happening at the business end, at either of the business ends here. And both Wallacott and Laidlaw pretty much unemployed in the first half so far, and that's why we have that scoreline of Ross County 0, Hibs 0 here at Easter Road, with 5 Premiership games to follow tomorrow night. We'll have full coverage of that as well, of course. Celtic at home to St Mirren, whose bubble is far from bursting at the moment. Dundee at home to Rangers after a good win for Dundee at Livingston at the weekend. Hearts play Livingston. It's Motherwell against Aberdeen, and St Johnstone on the hunt for a manager again at home to Kilmarnock. Just about to get back underway here. Jojo Wallacott deputising tonight for David Marshall. Angles the ball out wide for the head of Lewis Miller. Helped down the line towards Yuan. Turned inside but lost the ball in the process. County have it with Baldwin to Brown. Turner has to play it quickly with Jago breathing down his neck. County captain Baldwin again. Clever ball out wide for Purrington. Down the line from Ben Purrington. Good movement up ahead from Victor Laturi. In it comes, the left-footed cross flicked away towards the edge of the area. Turner was trying to get it gathered for the shot. Ross County still have it. Left-hand side Laturi. Back to Purrington. Turner is across on the left. And as Purrington made a move towards the byline, up goes the offside flag.
I'd actually like to see that one again. That's twice they've got in behind Miller down Hibernian right-hand side. It looks like a wee area they're trying to expose. Obviously, Yuhan again must match the runner there. Purrington's got ahead. Again, good play by Ross County.
Just about 6.5 minutes left of the first 45 as the ball is played back to Jojo Wallacott, and he clears up towards Yuan on the halfway line, right-hand side, but just a little nudge from Purrington to allow the ball to bounce out of play for a throw for Ross County. Just in front of the Hibs technical area. Purrington in for Harmon tonight. 2 changes for County from the team which looked as if it was getting all 3 points at Fir Park at the weekend. 88 minutes. It was 3-1 County. But when the final whistle went, it was 3 goals each. Big chance for a big win, and a win that makes a massive difference and would do for either of these two if they can turn a point into 3 tonight. But we're almost inside the last 5 minutes of the first half. And those shots on target, even shots off target, aren't going too well so far.
Yeah, might be a little bit optimistic there when I said 4-3. I was hoping for a good game, aren't I? Listen, it's been quite an interesting game. I think both managers will be a little bit disappointed with the final third. I think they both had opportunities to get there. I think haven't tested the goalie when they got to the positions to test the goalie. Again, which will be disappointing. Hibs will probably like to see more from Yuhan down this right-hand side. And Ross going to be fairly pleased with what's happened in this first half so far.
Down goes Lewis Miller. Contact was minimal, but he saw enough to hit the deck. Free kick given by referee Grant Irvin. Are we going to see a goal before the interval? Lafondra helps on a long ball from Jago. But again, no great penetration for Hibs. And the ball is suddenly down to the other end with Wallacott.
I think Brophy probably didn't realise he was actually onside when the ball played forward. He just stopped, and if he actually kept running, he probably would have got through in goal.
Yuan to Levitt, and alongside him in that central midfield area, Jago for Hibs. Bashiri is making a move down the left-hand side, receives it now on the halfway line. Looking for a pass, and back it goes all the way back to Jojo Wallacott and out to Will Fish. Up to halfway, fired forward, looking for Venter, but Baldwin was there to get it away for County. Levitt fires it through for Jair Tavares, finding a little bit of room in between the lines. Now Stevenson coming in off the left side to Yuan. 25 yards out, thought about the shot, still thinking about it, deflection, and in for Eli Yuan, and Hibs go in front at Easter Road, 3 minutes from the interval.
Again, I think it was good build-up by Hibs there. They've kept the ball, probably a little bit of passes to play. It's allowed Yuan and Tavares just to both come inside. And the fullback's got high, he's picked up inside. Again, you see the Yuan when he's nice and positive, he's great to watch, and he's taking that shot probably 22 yards out, deflection, hard to take for Ross County, but again, what we talk about, being positive, trying to be aggressive, take shots, and it's rewarded with Hibs with the lead right on half-time.
It just looked as if for a second there was going to be a 1-2 between the two players, Johan and Lewis Stevenson. A nice little dummy from Johan. He let the ball drift across, and then it looked for a second as if he wasn't going to be able to get the ball at his feet and get a strike. Just seeing the replay on the big screen there, I'm not 100% sure whether the shot was on target.
It was going wide.
It was going wide, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So it makes it even harder for Ross County to take that deflection. Such a big deflection as well, because it ends up going in the middle of the goal and it wasn't on target, and Ross Laidlaw's obviously out the game at that point. He's diving over and he's not able to get a block on it.
Only 6 goals to go now, Carl.
Yeah, we're getting there, I'll tell you. I think sometimes you need that little bit of luck in games. You know, probably Hibs haven't played as well as they wanted, but again, that little bit of luck will give them confidence going into the second half.
Allardyce to Murray for County. Can they come up with a quick response? Brown on the right side, Kyle Turner just outside the box, Randall at the corner of the area heading for the byline, but he doesn't get his boot wrapped around it and it flies behind Jojo Wallicott's goal. And Hibs have a 1-0 lead here, heading for half-time, almost inside the final minute of regulation time. There will be one to be added at the end of the half, and it's a 7th goal of the season for Eli Yuan, who looked undecided about whether he was going to have the shot at goal. He finally decided to have a go. Might have been bold when it came off, not so sure, but it certainly took a big deflection. Laidlaw was heading to his left and the ball went in down the right hand side of the goalkeeper, but into the middle of the goal. Didn't look as if it was heading in, but the deflection certainly put it in the back of the net. Hibs ain't complaining because they're in front.
I think it probably changes the team talk of both managers. You know, at half-time, I think, you know, Malky's probably sitting there going, right, quite pleased with this, but we've actually performed quite well, tactics have worked. Nick's probably saying there, well, we need to get the ball a little bit, we need to get it forward earlier, we need to put them under a bit more pressure. You know, that changes the whole dynamics of what they are thinking to say to the players at half-time. Connolly's
got a double for Raith Rovers, who are now 2 goals up against bottom of the league, Morton. Dundee United in front as well by just the 1-0 at Airdrie, the championship leaders. Inside stoppage time we go here in the Premiership at Easter Road, and spirits are considerably lifted around us among the home support with that goal going in for Yuan. Could be a great week for Hibs, Michael, if they can get the points tonight, and then they've got a cup semi-final to look forward to on the back of that point against Celtic.
Yeah, it's a massive game at the weekend for Hibs, for all 4 teams that are involved, for different reasons. It's a huge couple of semi-finals to look forward to. But yeah, you're right. If Hibs are able to build on the draw that they took against Celtic with a win here, then it just builds up nicely for them for the weekend against Aberdeen.
Well into that minute being added, the minute of stoppage time. Almost ready for Grant Irvin's half-time whistle. In fact, there it is, bringing the first half to a close. It did look as if we were going to head into half-time goalless. After lots of promising moments, some encouraging build-up, and then when it got into the final third, both teams pretty much shot shy and nothing for either the goalkeeper to do. But it all changed just a few minutes before the interval as Eli Yuan came in off the left-hand side. He was making a run across the pitch just outside the penalty box. He dithered a few times earlier on in the game, and you just wondered whether that was about to happen again, but finally he decided to take the shot on, and it was a good decision. Not that the shot was on target at the time, it was heading wide, but a massive deflection sent Ross Laidlaw the wrong way and sent the ball into the back of the net, which gives us a half-time scoreline here at Easter Road of Hibs 1, Ross County 0.
Hibernian versus Ross County.
It's a fabulous strike!
Football from Sports Sound on BBC Radio Scotland.
place in the Scottish League Cup final is at stake.
And they'll fancy going on to win this cup, lifting this trophy.
But who will be celebrating on Saturday tea time?
Hibernian have wrapped it up.
We'll bring you Hibernian versus Aberdeen.
It's all over. Aberdeen have made it.
And who will have a 5th of November to remember on Sunday afternoon?
Shapes a shot and scores for Hearts in stoppage time.
Hearts versus Rangers.
Good dummy by Wright and Jack will score.
It's the Scottish League Cup on Sports Sound.
In a mouth-watering semi-final lineup.
Scottish football lives here. BBC Radio Scotland.
This is Sports Sound on BBC Radio Scotland with me, Andy Burke. Live Premiership action here at Easter Road, and at half-time it's Hibernian 1, Ross County 0. Ellie Ewan with the only goal of the half, just 3 minutes before the break. Let's cross to Hampden Park, where the women's national team are in Nations League action against the Netherlands. Watching on for us is Amy Canavan.
Well, Andy, it's certainly been better from Friday, but it's been a little bit boring here at Hampden. It's half-time and it's Scotland 0, Netherlands 0, but maybe better and boring is an improvement. It's just been alright. Nothing has really been happening in the goal mouth actions, as I was mentioning to Rob earlier. There's just, nothing really happening. Sandy McKeever's had one decent save from a Scotland perspective, but Daphne van Domselaar and the Dutch goal has had absolutely nothing to do. She really could have been sitting in the stands at Hampden alongside us, getting all blue. Her hands will probably be just about as cold as ours. There's been some neat play from Scotland in the final third, and a definite improvement in composure, certainly, from Friday. Erin Cuthbert's introduction and presence has certainly been noted. There's been the 3-5-2 out of possession that's really made Scotland rather compact. Lisa Evans and Fiona Brown have been working hard down the flanks, but not an awful lot from the striking sort of partnership almost of Claire Emsley and Kirsty Hansen on the far side. But I think Pedro Martinez also will be fairly pleased at half-time. You side were 2-0 down at this stage on Friday, still very much 0-0. The Dutch haven't really had too much to shout about either, so it's still 0-0, a little bit boring, but certainly better.
Great stuff, Amy. That's Amy Canavan. We'll check in with her at Hampden Park throughout the evening. Scotland up against the Netherlands in the Women's Nations League here at Easter Road. Hibs are leading Ross County by a goal to 0. Ellie Ewan with the goal just 3 minutes before the break. The top four in the Championship all in action this evening. Dundee United, the league leaders, are leading Airdrieonians by a goal to 0. Kai Fotheringham putting them in front. Wraith Rovers are leading bottom side Greenock Morton. Aidan Connolly with a double there. And Partick Thistle are drawing 1-1 against Ayr United. Brian Graham with the opener for Thistle. Jamie Murphy responding for Ayr United. Rob McLean, Michael Stewart and Callum Davidson have been describing the first half here at Easter Road. And Callum, it looked for all the world like we were heading for a goalless first half. So that, well, not from a Ross County perspective, but any goal was a welcome sight, wasn't it, just to break the deadlock?
Yeah, I know. I think Ross County have played really well in their organisation. They've contained Hibs really well. Limited Hibs to any sort of real kind of sustained threat. I think Hibs in possession probably been a little bit sloppy at the back. Haven't really got it to their attacking players. For me, quick enough. Good ball with pace. And again, it's Ewan's he's just did enough off the left hand side. He's found himself in a bit of space, and I think he just thought, why not? He always encouraged players. It sounds really stupid, and you have to sometimes keep reminding them, just shoot. Sometimes just shoot. It's a really simple instruction. You don't shoot, you're not going to score. So that goal goes down as Ewan's goal. It's a huge deflection. But again, I think Nick Montgomery will be really pleased. He'd probably be a bit disappointed how the team have played, but he'll be absolutely delighted to go in at half time 1-0 up.
We kind of thought if Hibs were going to fashion something, Ellie Ewan was probably the most likely. He was getting a little bit of joy down this right hand side a few times, but he has looked the most likely.
Yeah, definitely. He's got pace. He can. For me, at times it sounds really funny. He's actually running without the ball better tonight than he is running with the ball. I think he got a couple of occasions there down the right hand side. Now, if I'm a left back playing against him, when he gets the ball at his feet, I think, oh no, I'm under. I've got a little bit of a problem here. But he's just actually knocked the ball back the way, and he's actually been better without the ball. His movement's been good. I think LaFondrie's been really clever dropping to those spaces. Because I think it's Allardyce and Randall, they've worked really hard in that middle area and covered a lot of ground and tried to sort of negate the space for them, and they've done it really well. You know, there's just that one little moment in the game that changed it. Second half now, it's going to be interesting because Ross County have probably played a containment game to counter. Now Hibs will be probably more confident and more comfortable in possession, so you probably look to see them get the ball into those players quicker and earlier, and then it's Ross County, what will they do to try and nullify it, because if it does come quicker, it's going to be harder for the players to maintain that for 90 minutes. And then the flip side, Ross County, you know, when they win the ball back, you've seen Murray on the Hibs right hand side drift into that space when Miller goes. You've seen Turner do it a few times on the other side, you know, so it's definitely a tactic they've worked on. Now, can they exploit that again?
Michael Stewart, neither goalkeeper, and I'll make this question a long one, you've just taken a bite out of that pie, but neither goalkeeper has been particularly busy this evening, and we, as I was saying to Callum there, we thought for all the world we were looking at a 0-0 first half. But what have you made overall of what you've seen from both sides so far?
Absolutely no idea what you were talking about there, Andy, either. And that wasn't the question, by the way. From both sides, I think, you know, Callum was touching on it there, that, you know, for Ross County, I thought for the vast majority of that first half, Malky would have been happy. To be honest, they were the side that were looking like they were more dangerous. They looked like the ones that were, their game plan was working with exploiting the gaps that were left in the Hibs back line. You know, they weren't able to really trouble the goalkeeper Walcott a great deal, but you could see that what they were trying to do, and it looked like it was potentially going to come to fruition. Whereas for Hibs, there was some nice phases of play, but it wasn't, you're looking at it, you're not thinking to yourself, you can see the identity of they're trying to get into these certain areas, or they feel like this is the position that is going to hurt Ross County, and the goal changes everything, really. The dynamics of it, Callum said it in commentary, that, you know, the half-time team talks are changed dramatically off the back of that, and it'll be interesting to see what happens in the second half with regards to how Ross County play it. Do they just do more of the same and hope that those transitions are a little bit cleaner in regards to getting the ball into those areas like they've been doing, but they're better when they work it into those areas, because it's been a little bit wasteful. There's been some good moments, but they've clearly not been able to finish off because they're losing the game 1-0. And then when they're doing that, they've just got to hope and make sure that they limit the opportunities that the Hibs are going to create, because they've got players that can do something out of nothing. Hibs, they don't have to you know, dominate a game. They can still just get something happen. And to be honest, it's what the goal was. I know it's a massive deflection, but it just comes out of a good bit of play in terms of Lewis Stevenson looking to play a wee 1-2, Eli Yuhan dropping the shoulder and driving across the edge of the box. It's a big goal for Hibs, and you know, this is a massive weekend coming up for them as well. If they're able to go into that semi-final on the back of a win, it's a very, very good week potentially for them.
Yeah, Ross County have had their moments, Callum, as Michael said, and they had perhaps the best chance of the game, 25 minutes, a lovely move that ended with James Brown just flashing his effort across goal, but it was a beautiful build-up that probably deserved a goal.
Yeah, definitely. I think build-ups always don't deserve goals, but I think with that one, you know, I think it was great little sort of one-touch football, you know, showed the confidence within the Ross County team to get there. Probably wishing it wasn't a full-back that was getting to that sort of final bit for the shot, but you know, there's a lot of promising play from Ross County. I don't think Malky will change it too much to start, you know, because I think the game is so even. You know, it'll hinge on this next goal, and it'll hinge on the time, and if it's still 1-0, probably 70 minutes and 65, 70 minutes, you know, will he change it then? But I think tactically they've been good, you know, and I think Hibs will play with a bit more confidence. So will they knock it about the back more? Will there be more opportunities to counter and transition? It's quite a fascinating start to this second half, because that goal definitely changed it, you know, and it definitely sort of moved the game on to sort of a different kind of, sort of not level kind of stage in the game.
Explain to us, Callum, how Ross County have set up, because we discussed before the game whether they would try and press Hibs high up the park on the basis that Hibs do sometimes get themselves into trouble passing out from the back. And interestingly, you pointed it out in commentary, even from by kicks, they're pressuring them right up there before they can even look to build anything.
Yeah, definitely. They've obviously gone with, it's a weird formation. It's like 4-2-2-2 with Toure and Turner just playing behind the two strikers. You know what they're trying to do, they're trying to get the ball on one side and just really squeeze it, and then Randall and Allardyce at the back, they're really trying to work really hard and condense the space and force Hibs to give the ball away in that sort of middle third. You know, and I think it's that area when they win it back, and they've tried to do it. You know, at times Hibs have got out and Johan has got in behind, but that's the risk and reward with that system. Regarding the goal kicks, they know Hibs are going to try and play out, so you're going to set up and you're going to try certain things. Now at times Hibs probably haven't done it as well as they'd like. I think Nick Montgomery will want to do that better. They want to play out better and get into that final third with less passes, more efficient, easier passes. So again, it's no credit to Malky. He's come up with a system. You know, watched them against Dundee and they played 3-4-1-2, and he's come here today. He's gone 4-2-2-2. You know, on the flip side of that is it's probably a little bit harder for them to get out because they don't have any real sort of wide players or ball carriers in the team. So, you know, I think you've seen it with Murray's drifting into that sort of Hibs right hand side to try and get out. So, you know, it's quite interesting. It's quite good to watch. You know, I've watched a few games this season. I went and watched Blackburn, and they kind of played a 4-2-2 wide 2. You know, they actually had the two strikers dropping into midfield to make the box 4 and left 2 wide. So it's all these things are different. You know, it's a great thing about the game today.
Dylan Levitt started brightly, Michael. A couple of nice little passes that kind of almost opened County up, but you guys were saying in commentary that he's kind of approaching a stage in his career that he can either kick on or not, and a really important time.
Well, he's just at a stage in his career where I feel like he needs to, you know, for him to to really sort of fulfil his potential. There's too many games for me that not even so much drift by. It's just he doesn't have a big enough impact. When I look at, you know, the ability he's got, you're just looking for somebody like him to go and stamp their authority on the game. And, you know, to be fair, he's had some really nice moments, but this is another one of those games where I think, and he, by the way, he's by no means the only one that's like this. There's a lot of midfielders nowadays. They never want to go and commit their direct opponent. They pick the ball up and they're a little bit slow or ponderous, and then if they do pass the ball forward, it's when they've got so much space that they could actually drive into it and actually commit the opposition. And I think that this is a perfect game. Look, it's a big game for him because, you know, you're talking about the semi-final at the weekend here. He's basically playing for a starting role in that game. So it's a big game. There's space for him there to go and dominate, take the ball. It's decision making. I like seeing players taking a little bit of risk in their play. He can do it because he's capable. It's not as if he's not got the ability to be able to do it. Go and commit the opponents and actually play some 1-2s at times. Go and drive forward, take opponents on, drive at the back 4, shoot, slide rule passes. He's done aspects of that. Go and do more of it.
Do you think Michael Jenga? I always wonder whether players worry about stats, because the people look at stats so much in the game now. They're huge. Does he think, I can't give away, and, you know, I want an 85% pass completion? You know, I remember I used to play with Ross Wallace, and I used to pass it to him 6 times back and forward just so because I kept giving the ball away. So the gaffer went, Cal, your passes are at 70% today, and I went, it's no bad, gaffer. He said you pass it to Ross 25 times though. So I sometimes wonder whether they're always safe, because there's so many stats now in the game. You know, as Michael said, go and drive forward, go and play a 1-2, go and commit, because that's what you want to see. You know, it's nothing to do with stats. Stats can just be used for anything. But I'd love to see him go and take the game by the scruff of the neck and say, look at me, I'm the best player on the pitch, because technically he probably is the best player on the pitch at the moment, and go and cause Ross County loads of problems.
Is that a coaching thing, Michael, do you think? Because there is such a premium put on keeping possession these days, that it seems that some players have become a bit risk averse.
I don't know, is my honest answer. In terms of, you know, a coaching message that's sent over, or is it folk that I'd be astonished if players were playing the game and conscious about stats like that. I mean, look, if you give the ball away a few times, of course you're going to blow it.
I was.
You're going to want to, you know, play a couple of safe passes just to find your rhythm again. But you know, guys that are playing middle to front, go and take a little bit of risk. And again, it's decision making. It's not talking about taking risks on the edge of your box. It's talking about middle of the park and forward. Go and commit the opposition. And most players are not capable of doing it. The reason I'm not going to go at Dylan Levitt here, but I'm highlighting it because I think he's capable of doing that.
Sports Sound on BBC Radio Scotland. Hibs leading Ross County by a goal to nil, courtesy of LAU, and the teams are back out in the pitch here at Easter Road. Let's hand back to Callum Davidson, Michael Stewart and Rob McLean.
Cheers, Andy. Just underway then in the second half here at Easter Road. There might be some debate about whose goal that is towards the tail end of the first half.
There's no debate, Rob.
But no argument. Well, it's a Puddington on goal, you mean?
Of course.
Yeah.
The shot wasn't on target.
Yeah.
Although I always remember a classic where Tony Watt hit a shot and it was rolling across the 6-yard box. And I mean, parallel across the 6-yard box, and somehow he got the goal. So
I like a debate. I can't believe you're denying me a debate there about it. LAUan will want to claim it. But
well, there's always a debate when that one's given. I'm telling you. I mean, whoever was in the goals panel that day was clearly needing a wee trip to Specsavers.
Yeah. What's not in doubt is that it was a great time to score for Hibs, and it's going to be interesting to see what it does to the game going into the second half as Ross County look to respond. They didn't do too much wrong first half, but Hibs will look to build on that 1-goal advantage. Yuan with the ball, Wilson with a goal back for Morton. Early second half at Capello. Aidan Connolly having scored twice in the first half for Raith Rovers. Dundee United a goal up. Kai Fotheringham at Airdrie. Thistle, one Ayr United, one Brian Graham and Jamie Murphy. Now 2-1, that's changed. And Milne is the goal scorer early second half for Thistle. 2-1. They lead at Firhill. That's you up to date with the championship. A 1-0 Hibs here at Easter Road against Ross County. Early second half in the capital. And of course we'll be back to Hampden to keep you up to date with what's happening in that Women's Nations League match between Scotland and the Netherlands. So free kick Hibs, right on the touchline, right hand side, in it comes from Levitt, and Puddington gets it clear for County as the ball dropped dangerously, it seemed initially, but they did get it away. And again, intelligence from Levitt, clever little passes in the midfield, and he'll be encouraged by Nick Montgomery to keep on trying to pierce that Ross County rear guard and add to that first half goal. Baldwin clears for the Dingwall team. It's an up and under. Trying to get on the end of it was Eamon Brophy. Didn't, still down. Hibs have the ball. And Lewis Miller on the move, linking up with Yuan, right-hand side. And down goes Hibs number 7, after being blocked off by Puddington. And it will be a Hibs free kick. The Hibs fans want more, they want yellow to go with it.
Yeah, he's down there holding his face, but it didn't look like he hit his face, just one of those accidental collisions. He looks in a bit of pain. Hopefully he'll be okay. Physio's not in any great rush to get on the pitch though, so
if somebody tells him somebody tells him it's his goal, he might get back up again.
He's holding his face, and it's one of those, it's they're taking their time.
Yeah, well, the decision's being taken to let the physios on to have a little look at LAUan. Who decided to take on that shot at goal late first half. And well, it was a big deflection of Puddington, which had Laidlaw wrong-footed, and Hibs in front. Neither goalkeeper up to that point had anything whatsoever to do. How is this game going to change second half? You'd imagine, Michael, we'll see Jan Danda at some stage for Ross County, having been rested from the start.
Yeah, you would imagine so, but just wonder, when you're looking at the setup of Ross County, who would he look to substitute? Because think Kyle Turner and Laturi have done pretty well in there, and they're obviously in there not just for any attacking sense, it is more for that stability in the middle of the park to make sure that they stop Hibs playing. So, I mean, obviously, if Danda was going to come on, you would imagine he's going to take up one of those positions, but it would be interesting to see, you know, how long Malky Mackay leaves it for that substitution to be made, and which one of those two that he would be looking to take off.
Maybe he might actually put Laturi back in as a more defensive one if the game's still 1-0, you know, and try and go that. Obviously Allardyce or Randall, probably two that worked really hard defensively, and obviously that'll be the weak in a sort of gamble change.
Yeah, but Laturi very often plays that position anyway, doesn't he, alongside Conor Randall?
Yeah, it's quite unusual to see him play higher up, but he's got a lot of energy. Turner and Laturi both today have shown great amounts of energy during the game.
So we're back underway, just about, and Levitt swings in a free kick for Hibs. Plenty behind it for Ross County to get the ball clear, and it's back on the halfway line with Stevenson. Behind him is Dzeko, and he rolls it across to Dylan Levitt, who clips it out wide again for captain tonight, Stevenson. Movement up ahead of him. Dylan Vente to the corner flag, turns it inside for Jair Tavares. Behind him, Stevenson. Quickly into Lewis Miller in the middle of the pitch, and he plays it wide for Yuan, facing up to Ben Puddington. Yuan jinking his way towards the byline, and in the end Puddington manages to play it off the Hibs goal scorer, and it's gone behind for a corner.
You can see Puddington actually, he's dropped off probably 4 or 5 yards there. For me, it's and he gives you that much space. Yuan's just got to drive inside. You know, I think obviously full back, you're sort of, your position is so important, it's so relevant to the wide player. You know, he's obviously worried about space. Every now and again, Yuan just go and drive inside, you know, and see if he can cause some problems that way.
Laidlaw from the goal kick to Leak. Plays it forward looking for Murray. Fish gets there for Hibs to win it. Levitt tries to work a 1-2, then plays it back again to Yuan.
He must have been listening to Michael at half-time to play a 1-2.
Yeah, the problem was once he played the 1-2, he was static and he played it behind the guy again. But that was good play, because look what happens. You take the opposition out of the game. 1-2s are so difficult to defend against, but when he gets the ball back, for me, drive on, you've beaten your player. What a pass that is, what a ball that is for the keeper.
Like a laser from Wallacott.
That was like my 2-iron in the wind today.
Right to the feet of Lewis Stevenson. It was some kick out from Jojo Wallacott, who's had little to do so far in terms of making saves. Driving forward for Hibs was Rocky Bashiri there, almost on the end of a pass, 25 yards out. Now County have it and look to create something, but running into trouble was Brophy, and the ball's gone out in the end on the far side for a Ross County throw. The Dingwall team trail by 1-0 at Easter Road. Just about 8 minutes into the second half, and you're with BBC Radio Scotland, keeping you across those Championship latest scores as well. Wallacott out to Stevenson, left hand side for Hibs. Jago calls for it, gets it.
Wallacott's been good actually with the ball at his feet today. Yeah, I think he's been quite assured, quite confident. You know, he's played a lot of good passes out.
Forward it goes, in behind Brown for Jair Tavares. Big chance this for Hibs. He's inside the box and he scores brilliantly. It's his first goal for Hibs, and it's a belter into the top corner. As Hibs worked the ball in behind James Brown, he cut into the box, realised that Ross County were backing off. He took the shot on, and Ross Laidlaw was not stopping that. 2-0 Hibs.
But he scores because of Dylan Levitt. That all starts with Dylan Levitt on the halfway line, by the way. He gets the ball in a tight area, he turns and goes forward positively. He gets the forward pass, the ball comes back to him, and it's a lovely clip ball over, through and past the defender for Tavares to run onto. All of that comes because of the positive play from Dylan Levitt in the first instance. Now, take nothing away from Tavares here, because the finish is sublime. Smashes it past Ross Laidlaw before he has a chance to do anything with it. But the goal comes from taking a bit of risk on the halfway line, taking it and turning in a tight area and playing forward and committing the opposition. A great bit of play from Levitt. Exactly what I like to see. Brilliant finish from Tavares as well.
It's a great moment, isn't it, for the 22-year-old who's well, they're having a look at it now for offside. If it does stand, if it's chopped off, it would be a nightmare for him, because he celebrated it with such glee. The glee that comes from when you've been out of the side, not really getting too many opportunities, and he's taken that chance brilliantly.
The joys of VAR, eh? The joys of VAR. I think it looked tight. Obviously, they're taking their time with obviously the offside, so it must be tight.
Brian, have you got your slide rule out?
Yeah, I've had a look at it 2 or 3 times, and I think this is very, very tight indeed. And the referee's just looked at it, and he's given the goal.
Well, that's a massive moment in the match, you would have to think. Hibs now have a 2-0 advantage, and it looks like a long way back here for Ross County. Long ball forward for the Dingwall team. Rocky Bashiri keeps his defending pretty straightforward, and he hooks the ball out of play. Can Malky Mackay's team find a couple of goals here in the second half at Easter Road to get something out of this game after a couple of draws at Dundee and Motherwell? But they're trailing here, and Hibs have an appetite to score more. Yuan attacking, and Miller on the outside cuts in on his right foot. Deflection of a Ross County defender, and it spins behind for the corner.
Brilliant play by Louis Stevenson there, the edge of his box. A little bit of composure. He's just cut inside. Everyone expects him just to play along. Switched to the other side. It's a great counter attack. I think for me, Miller's got to do a little bit better. He's cut inside. I think it's just passing to the box again. We're quite optimistic to score from there, but again, you can see the confidence with the Hibs players just starting to show. He's got that 2-0 lead up. Now they're going to play well, a bit of confidence.
Hibs have a corner, as well as that 2-goal lead. Right-hand side. Levitt drives it in with lots of pace from the corner kick, almost for Miller, who was round about the penalty spot. And it's been turned behind by Ryan Leake for same again. Another Hibs corner. Rolled into the box for Jair Tavares this time, and good defensive work from Victor Laturi, who then played it straight at LAU, and he's given it away in the end after he'd done the difficult bit. Yuan inside, Turner is there for Ross County. Stop the ball getting to Lafondra. No margin for error now for the Dingwall team. They can't afford to concede again, or the game will certainly be gone for them. Free kick given against Lafondra for handball. He claiming that he played the ball with his chest. Grant Irvin seeing it a little bit different. Free kick. Ryan Leake to Jack Baldwin. Down the line for Eamon Brophy. Down goes Rocky Bashiri. And Amy, a goal at Hampden.
A goal at Hampden, Rob, but once again, get that enthusiasm out of your voice. That has gone the way of the Dutch. Esme Broots, who was very, very impressive on Friday in Nijmegen. She actually grabbed the second that night. She's grabbed the opener tonight, and it's really poor from a Scotland perspective. She just peels away from her marker. I think it's Lisa Evans on the far side that just sort of loses track, and she glides and strikes into the far bottom corner, and it's a lovely strike. Very disappointing though, as I say, from a Scottish perspective, and what has been a relatively positive opening hour. Scotland again in that second half, just controlling the game okay, as I said earlier, better, a little bit boring, but they had that composure, and this will be a little bit of a sucker punch. But Esme Broots with the opener for the Dutch here at Hampden. 1-0
It
Netherlands.
was 4-0 for the Dutch on Friday night, 1-0 at Hampden against Scotland, as Ross County win themselves a free kick on the left-hand side, just outside the penalty box, and they desperately need a goal back.
I always think it's really important once you concede. You know, can you get that sort of get back into the game as quick as you can? Because the longer it goes on, the more comfortable the opposition team become. So it's really important. Can Ross County get back into this game as quick as they can?
This is a big opportunity. It's a great spot for Kyle Turner here to whip it in on goal. And so many bodies in there on the 6-yard line.
Here's the free kick. Turner with it, blasted it low, blocked by Yuan, and Jair Tavares gets it clear for Hibs. A missed opportunity for Ross County to try to make something happen.
Turner will be really disappointed. He's actually got really good quality. Really disappointed with that ball in the box there.
Bushiri for Hibs to Jair Tavares. There were probably phases last season where Hibs fans forgotten that Jair Tavares was part of the squad. He was so far out of the reckoning. But if he can keep doing what he's done tonight, then he can be a really important player for Nick Montgomery.
He's kind of got a second chance, hasn't he? You know, I think new managers come in, he's opened up the team to everybody. You know, go and prove yourself, and you know, great for Tavares there. He's had a tough time, and sometimes you come to different countries, it's always very difficult to settle in. But you know, he'll be delighted with that.
In goes Simon Murray, powerful up front for Ross County. He won it, and then he tried to whip the ball inside, just not enough on it to link up with Victor Laturi, who was in the middle.
Yeah, listen, I mean, it's a massive turnaround for Jair Tavares, because his bum was so far out the window, it was unbelievable. He was never going to get an opportunity, but now with Nick Montgomery, he's obviously started to give him some game time, and started a couple of games now as well. So he's clearly an option that Nick Montgomery is looking for, and the goal there, that will do his confidence the world of good as well.
It's a real bonus for an incoming manager when you find somebody like Tavares who's got something that can add to the team. Here come Ross County with Murray again, receiving it and getting the pass away to Turner just outside the box. Through for Brophy, tried the angle shot, good block by Will Fish. County still have it out on the right hand side with James Brown, plays it inside, it just came off Turner, didn't know too much about it. Stevenson gets the ball away and is down, and it's going to be a free kick against Kyle Turner. Change coming up for County. It's the one we were talking about a little bit earlier, Brian. Yandanda.
Yeah, 62 minutes gone. Yandanda got the call from Malky Mackay a few moments ago, so he's coming on. The player going to be replaced is Kyle Turner. Hibs also looking at a potential change. Paul Hanlon almost ready to come on. I think Martin Boyle as well is trying to get himself ready, but I don't think Hibs are ready quite yet to make the change. But yeah, the one change so far, Kyle Turner's off and Yandanda on.
On comes Ross County's number 10. Can he be the creative force that they want him to be? If they can get a goal back, then they start to believe that they can get something out of the game. Right at the moment, it's going Hibs' way. Hibs are on track to get themselves up to 4th in the Premiership if they can win tonight. It could be all change in terms of the complexion of that league table. Forward it goes from Wallacott. It wasn't a good header away from Puddington, and it drops for Jair Tavares, and on his left foot this time he tries again. He was stumbling as he struck it, but he saw those lights flashing again for him.
Pure defence,
not quite so good this time.
No, pure defensive header by Puddington there. I think you could hear all the fans shouting, shoot, and I think he got a little bit excited on his left foot. Obviously not quite as strong as his right.
Brian, the changes.
Yeah, Martin Boyle and Paul Hannon are the two players coming on. The players being replaced, the applause you can hear for number 33, Rocky Bashiri, and number 9, Dylan Vente, possibly looking ahead to Saturday, of course, in Hampden Park when they play Aberdeen in the Viaplay Cup semi-final.
Well, it's a great position for Hibs to be in, isn't it, when having made those changes, significant players being left out, then you go 2 goals up and you can bring them on and give them a little sprinkling of action ahead of that Cup semi-final, with Hibs on target here for 3 Premiership points. Airdrie 0, Dundee United 2. So the leaders increase their advantage. 2-0 there, 2-0 here. And Martin Boyle will be keen to have an impact, and he's already racing onto a pass out wide. He's into the box, he cuts it back. Javier Tavares with a flick, and it dropped for Dylan Levitt, and it's a good block by Victor Luturi, but the offside flag had gone up.
I thought he was about maybe 6 or 7 yards offside there when the ball went through. I know they've got to let it go, but again, it just that pace. Boyle, obviously, the game is going to open up, and there'll be more space for Boyle to exploit.
That Dundee United goal, it's a double for Kai Fotheringham, 2 for Aidan Connolly for Raith tonight, 2 for Fotheringham for Dundee United. Laidlaw angles the ball out wide towards James Brown, nice flick. Round the corner it goes for Jan Danda. Jego's challenge, no free kick. Danda bounces back up. Who will get the next goal here, if there is one? Ross County know it has to be for them to have any chance of salvaging something here. Danda with a cross ball which comes off Jego. It's not going to go behind. Well, it wasn't going to go behind for the corner until it came off Hanlon and did.
I don't know why Jan Danda didn't hit that cross first time, because it got laid off from by Brophy, perfectly weighted for him to step on and hit it first time, but he hit the cross, it got deflected up in the air, and Paul Hanlon just misjudged it. It's gone behind for the corner, but there's quite a few Ross County players that are claiming it should have been a handball and a penalty. Not for me.
VAR would never slip up, I imagine. They'll be looking at everything that comes their way.
Well, they're looking at it.
Yeah, it is being looked at.
They're looking at it right now, because you can see the linesman standing in front of the ball.
Well, been watching Paul Hanlon. He's trying to describe to the referee what's happened. You know, he's trying to say I kicked, and did he miss it? Did he actually miss the kick?
I think so.
Brian, did you get a look at it?
Be a penalty, yeah. He's missed the ball completely. The balls came up and it's hit him, and he's sort of mid-arm, mid to top end of his arm. But no, they're saying play on.
Yeah, well, common sense prevails.
No penalty. Ross County do have a corner kick. In it comes from Danda, out swinging, and Hibs deal with it pretty well. It's back on halfway with Puddington. Lafondra went down, and Hibs fans were looking for a free kick. Play goes on, Randall swings it in. Hanlon with an unchallenged header, but he launches it high. In goes Allardyce. Again, Hibs fans wanting a free kick for a clumsy challenge. Not given. Brown to Allardyce. He goes down, and it will be a free kick for Ross County. And you can hear how that's gone down with the home support.
There's 2 challenges there on the Hibs players that he's just sort of wave play on, and then 1 challenge on the Ross County. He's given them the free kick in a really dangerous area.
Well, one thing's definite: the free kick he's given was unquestionably a free kick. The other 2 were probably marginal calls that, because they've all just gone against Hibs, you can understand in quick succession the Hibs support are not happy with it. But I don't think any of them were ridiculous decisions.
No, I don't think so. I think it's one of those. I think it's just because he's probably watched the 2 and thought they're not fouls.
Yeah.
And then they're just getting loads of sticky. Just can't win, can he?
And one more change drive before the free kick.
Yeah, the applause for Jimmy Jego, who's replaced after 68 minutes. The player coming on was on loan at Edinburgh City last year, Alan Del Ferrier.
The free kick right of centre, 40 yards from goal for Ross County. Can they get some joy here? Danda whips it in, great delivery, and it's flashed well wide in the end, and I think there was an offside flag up. It was a great ball in from Danda.
Yeah, that's where he brings the quality to the team. He's got that delivery. A little bit like Levitt on the Hibs team. The 2 players with that quality, and that was a really dangerous ball. I didn't really see the offside there.
Played up towards Lafondra. Baldwin's challenge. There was a handball there, and the ironic cheers are for Grant Irvine spotting a handball against Ross County.
I've no idea. The ball's driven in. I think Lafondra's trying to flick it. He's just standing about half a yard behind them.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what he was meant to do there.
Well, he's meant to get out of the way, of course.
Stevenson plays one in behind Baldwin. Movement up ahead from Boyle. And he rolls it back towards Dylan Levitt. room to run into here. And he finds Tavares with a pass. Back to Levitt. Miller, corner of the penalty box. Lofted in. On the byline. Boyle jinking his way in towards the goal. Plays it out for Stevenson. A half yard for Lewis Stevenson. A swing in the cross. Beyond Miller, but he'll keep this in.
That was dangerous. I thought he had a bit of a shot there. Back post, Purrington.
He did.
Miller going inside and out. He cuts it back. Boyle was almost there. And in the end, Ross County managed to break things up and get the ball away. And Danda knocks it down the line for Murray. Hamlin gets there first. And back it goes to Wallacott. Out to Will Fish. With Laturi closing him down. Now it's Levitt. Calm on the ball, and he was having his shirt pulled by Conor Randall, and the free kick is given.
Don't hear the moans by the Hibs fans there, do you? A little bit lucky there. He's actually great bit of play. He's just opened his body. He's got away from all he needs to do is switch the play. He's actually gone back on himself and caused himself a little bit of problem, only for 12 yards out from the goal.
I'd like to see that again. I wasn't sure that he had been filled there. Exactly like Callum says, initially brilliant bit of play, tight space, lets it roll across his body. The whole game's opened up at that point, and he's got acres of space to. There's a huge margin for error. All he has to do is play out the other side, and Hibs are attacking down their left. He tries to go back in there, and I think it was Brophy that was on him.
It was, yeah.
And it just looked to me as if he'd blocked him in terms of where he was trying to go back in.
He was certainly staying very calm under a real pressure situation. A hat-trick of changes coming for Ross County, Brian.
Yeah, 3 changes coming, made by Malky Mackay. The players coming off: Conor Randall, Ben Purrington, and number 27 Eamon Brophy. Coming on is number 25 Alex Samuel, 26 Jordan White, and the other player, number 16 George Harman. So a triple change made by County. 18 minutes left.
Yeah, just a straight swap at left back with Harman replacing Purrington.
Just wondering what they'll do. Does it look like John White's going to be playing as one of the attacking midfielders, which is a bit of a surprise?
It is. At the moment, looks very much like Danda and White in behind Samuel and Murray.
Might see a few diagonals maybe onto White.
Thumping header away by Jack Baldwin on the end of the clearance from Wallacott. In goes Alex Samuel, busy as ever, energetic off the bench. Del Ferrier with a challenge. Samuel still going, and he was tripped in the end. Just at the corner, right corner of the penalty box. Free kick, Ross County 2-0 down.
They've been the ones that are territorially, since Hibs have got the second goal, have been in the ascendancy. Most of this game, since Hibs scored, has been played in Ross County's attacking play.
Ross County wondering if they can do to Hibs what Motherwell did to them at the weekend, coming back from a 2-goal deficit. A free kick opportunity for Ross County. Jan Danda plays it in. It's a glancing header at the near post that goes wide of target. I think it was Simon Murray, and he just didn't quite get enough on it, and it's gone a couple of feet wide of the post.
Fantastic ball from Danda again. It's Murray. He's made his great movement. They're worried about White in the box, and he's just slipped in front of the. Oh, jeez, what a ball that was!
Another great kick out by Wallacott. Painful challenge close to the halfway line. It's going to be a free kick for Ross County. I'm sure Wallacott is smoking a cigar as he plays these kick-outs, these laser-like kick-outs. A couple of belters to Stevenson.
My heart just jumped there as he played that one out. He's drilled it again. But again, it's probably wise there for his, obviously not wise there obviously, but he's got really good quality with his feet.
It's another great ball in, and it's an own goal, and Ross County are back in this. It was a great ball in by Jan Danda. It was missed by Wallacott, and it's gone in for an own goal, and Ross County right back in it at 2-1.
You maybe should have just stopped and said that's why he's in the team, because his delivery with his feet, because certainly did not cover himself in glory there with that cross ball. The goalkeeper misses it completely, clatters into his own player, and then is it Lewis Miller, I'm presuming, that's coming round at the back post that it deflects off either him or Will Fish, surely.
I think it's Del Ferrier.
Well, there you go, it's neither of them, it's Del Ferrier. But anyway, I mean, it's in the back of the net. Calamitous defending from Hibs. Great ball from Ross County, really dangerous ball. And to be honest, they deserve it. You know, as I said, since Hibs went 2-0 up, Ross County have been the better team.
Well, I was posing the question, could they do what was done to them at the weekend? Well, now every chance, because that's going to give them one massive lift.
You're laughing at my 4-3 prediction earlier on, weren't you?
I said 2-1.
I never doubted you, Colin.
Yeah, all credit to Ross County. I think they've had a go. Malky's made positive substitutions. You know, sometimes risk or reward. Sometimes the game could end up 4-0. But I think he's thinking, well, you got to have a go, and right back in this game.
The ball with Miller right side, gives it to Jair Tavares. Couldn't get there. Luturi did well. Canty getting forward. Jack Baldwin on the halfway line with Allardyce alongside. Wide left with George Harman. Canty not too bothered where the goal came from, but the complexion changes again. Baldwin fires one forward, looking for Danda. It's Del Ferrier who gets there first.
It's the cross ball that does it, you know, and Danda, since he's come on, has put in some really good balls from this right-hand side, and that dangerous ball, that's what causes all the problems for the Hibs defence. Still, Wollacott should be doing better, but that delivery caused them so many problems, and this is a massive 15 minutes now.
Harman's cross ball, and there's confusion at the back. Del Ferrier involved again, and Wollacott struggling to get his gloves wrapped around it after it ricocheted off a couple of Hibs defenders, and suddenly things not looking quite so safe and secure for the home team.
Yeah, I think again, for me, Miller's got to just track his runner, not stop the cross. It's too easy for the ball to come in. And again, I think it's De Ferrier, and I think maybe Hanlon get caught together and put them under pressure. You know, it's going to be a really interesting the last sort of 15 minutes of this game.
There's something else to talk about. You know, the game that's changed. You see so often, for me, fullbacks that, and Callum will tell you as a fullback, like, gone are the days of battering yourself out to get on somebody's touch and making sure they can't lift their head and throw a cross into the box. So many fullbacks and wide players now, they sort of amble across or they drift across and just allow crosses to be thrown into the box.
Partick to Ayr 2, and Jamie Murphy penalty as that one levelled up again. Plenty of goals in the championship tonight, 3 in this one, and that significant goal back for Ross County. Del Ferrier expecting Wollacott to get on the end of the cross, and it just bounced in off the defender who didn't know too much about it, the substitute. And Hibs have had a couple of shaky moments since, and Ross County look as if they're a team believing at the moment.
Well, they're the ones that are dictating the game at the moment.
Turning inside, James Brandt, good pass towards Samuel, and offside is given against Ross County, who've got plenty going for them in the attacking areas now, with Samuel and Murray and White and Danda. And it's Allardyce and Luturi anchoring the midfield. Well, Hibs must have thought when they got into a 2-goal lead and then brought on Hanlon and Boyle that they were in a really strong position.
Again, brilliant play from Levitt. Brilliant play, and it set up this whole attack.
Del Ferrier for Hibs to Boyle. Rolls it for Yuan, he puts his back heel on it. Shot blocked by Baldwin.
You see that? Ball round the corner. He takes the ball in a deep midfield position. He's got pressure coming into him, and it's great play, but it's not difficult. When you know where your players are playing and where they're going to be, that ball round the corner, it takes your opposition player out the game completely, and not just him, takes out the whole midfield, and then he goes and gets the ball again, and this time he drives forward with it a little bit. Sets up the whole attack for Hibs. 3 or 4 passes later, they're inside the Ross County box, and they've got a chance of getting a shot on goal.
Yeah, Nick Montgomery will be delighted with that. That's what he's looking for. You can know what type of manager it is. He likes that quick play, that attacking play. Levitt could be a pivotal part in the future of Hibs, you know, and I think the more we can see that off him, the better.
The key thing is getting the balance right in there. If you've got somebody that's going to be able to just potentially cover any defensive frailties that he may have, and just balance off chance and risk that you take with the passing. For me, I want to see that. I'm all for that, because when you talk about risk and reward, the rewards are massive when you start taking a little bit of risk like that. And the downside of it is, okay, you might give the ball away a little bit and the opposition might get a few turnovers, but if you're solid in your structure behind it, that's a risk I think is worth taking.
Into the last 10 minutes we go. Easter Road, Hibs 2, Ross County 1. It's definitely in the balance. Can Hibs strike again and ease any concerns about not winning this one tonight, not going up to 4th place in the Premiership? That's the big prize for them potentially here. Alex Samuel receives the ball, takes it in for Ross County, then it's nipped away from him, and coming back from an offside position for Hibs was Jair Tavares, who just steps over it and the ball goes out for a Ross County throw. Harmon to Laturi.
Fisher's really lucky there. I think I think Samuel's turned him. He's actually gone the wrong way. Fish round him. He's lucky to get that tackle, because it was basically a 3v2 if he got an extra touch out in front of him.
Ryan Leake to George Harmon off the bench. Harmon tried to play it down the line for Samuel. Stretching was Miller to make sure it didn't get through. Out it goes for a throw-in. Midway inside the Hibs half. Harmon and Laturi combining, holding off Tavares, scorer of Hibs' second goal, which is the one at the moment that makes the difference. Baldwin on the halfway line, the county captain, with Jan Danda alongside him. Danda clips it forward for Murray, takes it in well. Simon Murray into the box, jinking inside, outside, in for Jordan White! Oh, what a goal! One touch to control it, and then he hooked it left-footed high past Wallacourt, and Ross County have levelled things up from 2 goals down. It's all square.
What a goal. I mean, you've got to say, credit to Ross County, that is a great goal. Hibs will feel a little bit defensively, they should be doing better, getting tighter, making it more difficult for them. You know, they had this overload on the right-hand side here, where when that ball was going to Simon Murray, I'm thinking to myself, just dummy it, let it go, because James Brown's outside him with a chance to control and cross it, but he does brilliantly. His first touch gets him inside, and then he attacks the defender, puts the ball in brilliantly for Jordan White, and what a touch, swivel and shot from the big striker who's playing in midfield. I mean, brilliant goal. You talk about, and Cal mentioned it first of all, risk and reward. Malky Mackay gambled, he got plenty of attacking players on the park, and it's come up trumps for them so far.
Yeah, I think Nick Montgomery will be probably a little bit disappointed with the amount of pressure that's been put on the ball. I think it's been too easy for Ross County in the middle third there. I think they managed to keep the ball. Dander's been dictating the play. He's the one that's got the switch of play. But again, you've got to give credit to Jordan White, you know, the big guy, you know, he's renowned for being really strong, aggressive in there, but it's a great turn and hit. I would like to see the goalie where he was on the strike, you know, because did it go in the middle of the goal? Was it really, or was it too close for him to react? But again, all credit to Jordan White. Again, really, you know, it was 0-0 last week I was here. I think hopefully I'll get invited back, because it's 2-2 now, so hopefully they'll invite me back for some more commentary.
And we're only 3 goals away from your 4-3 as well. Brian, a couple of changes there for Hibs, sparked by that Ross County equaliser.
Yeah, well, they were going to happen just before that equaliser. Surprisingly, Dylan Levitt's come off, along with Adam Lafondra, the 2 players coming on, Joe Newell and Josh Campbell. Ross County also planning to make a change. Will Nightingale is going to be the player coming on. Will the board go up at the moment? No, not yet. But Will Nightingale will be coming on for Ross County for the last 6 minutes.
I think that, you know, Levitt's done a lot of good things, but you can understand he's not played loads of football, and that middle of the park is a key area, and Ross County have got a grip of it. Callum made the point, Dander's dropping, he's floating around, he's picking the ball up, and he's making things happen. Campbell and Newell coming on, you can understand Nick Montgomery's trying to assert a little bit more control in that middle of the park.
Joe Newell immediately flinging a free kick into the box, and Ross County getting it away. Well, how must they be feeling at the moment, having shipped a couple of late goals at Fir Park at the weekend to miss out on a big win, but they've come back mighty impressively here tonight in the capital from a couple of goals behind to level things up and give themselves a chance to maybe win this as well. Hibs on the attack at the moment, but it doesn't come to much.
I think you'd be hard pushed to say that Ross County don't deserve it. I think they've been pretty good. I mean, even when they were 2-0 down, there wasn't loads in the game in regards to as if Hibs were massively in control of it. I think the game over the piece has been pretty even, and Ross County, credit to them, 2-0 down, and since that point I think they've done very, very well.
Then goes Alex Samuel against Lewis Miller. The pair of them square up to each other as the ball goes behind for a goal kick.
Corner, I think it is.
Is it going to be a corner?
I think Lewis Miller, he's trying to con the referee there into a foul, and rather than just defend the ball properly, clear his lines, he's trying to actually buy the free kick. When the referee hasn't actually bought it, obviously it's a corner to Ross County. But I think a little bit of argy-bargy after.
Yeah, and how are Hibs going to be feeling about this corner kick, having conceded a couple of goals from a comfortable-looking 2-0 position, and suddenly they're in danger of having this game turned on its head.
We've got another big man coming on for the corner as well.
Yeah, that change, Will Nightingale is going to replace Simon Murray. Is that going to happen now?
They've just, what's going on?
Yeah, it is. It is going to happen now. Off comes Murray, on comes Nightingale. Malky wants him off in a hurry. He wants to get Will Nightingale in position here for the corner kick. And it just adds to the armoury for the Dingwall team ahead of this set piece. Left-hand side, corner kick. 2-2 at Easter Road. Jan Danda swings it in, and it was Will Fish who got his head to it to get that clear. Laturi tries to get there, but it's won by Jair Tavares. On the break, our Hibs. Jair Tavares taken out by Victor Laturi. It will be a yellow card, and it's a booking well worth taking for the team.
Yeah, he got caught underneath the ball when he got cleared there. He just got caught wrong side. Actually, that's a fantastic foul, but one of them he's got to take for the team, because it was basically, if he got an extra touch ahead, he was 3v2, and a great chance for Hibs to score on the counter.
Listen to you, fantastic foul.
Fouls are all fantastic.
So free kick for Hibs, 15 yards inside the county half. Is there another twist in the tail on Halloween at Easter Road? Inside the 88th minute, out comes Ross Laidlaw to punch away that delivery from Newell. It's a point apiece as things stand. Are we going to find a winner in the closing stages?
I thought Laturi just handled that there. I thought he stuck his hand out. He's just been booked.
Yeah, that's what the Hibs fans reckon as well.
Well, if he did, that was absolute madness. But certainly you could see all the Hibs players that were down there and the fans over on that side. They were all screaming for it.
James Brown's header away for Ross County. Onto it is Allardyce, driving forward down the middle. Free kick for Ross County. Hibs are surrounding the referee at the moment, feeling decisions are going against them.
I'm surprised. I thought that probably was a foul. Joe Newell was in possession of the ball. It just looked as if Allardyce had sort of come through the back of him. But I tell you, when Allardyce was breaking forward there, if he'd looked up, Walcott is on the edge of his box. He was miles off his line.
We're inside the 90th minute. They're going to be an extra 7. Ross County sensing another opportunity as Danda swings the ball in, and Wallacott makes an important save down to his left-hand side. The header looked as if it was bouncing away from him. He flung himself across to keep it out.
Another great ball by Danda. You know, he's been fantastic since he's come off the bench. He's probably the one player that sort of dragged Ross County right back into this game.
They really are piling the pressure on at the moment. Ross County, Danda's corner kick on the way, and it's fingertips over the top to deny another Ross County effort and goal.
His delivery has been spot on. I can't remember a single cross or corner or free kick that he's hit that hasn't been really dangerous. And that one there, it just looked like Nightingale was going to head it in the back of the net.
Here he comes again from Danda beyond the back post.
Yeah, good Michael.
There you go.
He just swung one out. He just kicked one straight out play from a corner.
And I tell you, even if it didn't go over the line, it still wasn't good enough. It was up in the sky. It probably came down with a bit of snow on it.
So inside 7 minutes of stoppage time we go. It's turned into quite a game here. Hibs in control at 2-0 in front. But Ross County have never been out of the game tonight. And the own goal from Del Ferrier got them back in it. Followed by a brilliant finish from Jordan White. As a ball is played inside, fullback James Brown looking for the run of Yuan. Out comes Laidlaw to pounce on it.
I think Ross County they've just gone back to kind of the original like 4-4-2. You know, they've obviously changed it. They've tried to obviously chase the game. I think Danda's gone on this right-hand side. I think Laturi's gone back onto the left. I think they've obviously... Is he happy with the draw, Malky? It's a really hard one for Malky because they've obviously been in the ascendancy for the last probably 20-25 minutes. You know, It's a real difficult one as a manager to what do you do?
Well, that's the thing. The momentum is behind them, isn't it, at the moment?
Yeah, but when you end up, the momentum's there. You little glimpses of Hibs on the counter attack. You've seen their pace. Boyle, Johan, so he knows the danger. So it's a really hard one for him. What do they do? I think he'll probably edge his bets, and he'll obviously get the ball forward early. He'll get Danda to put the ball in the box and ask questions, but try and sort of solidify that midfield area.
And Ross County also have those recent memories, of course, of shipping 2 late goals at Fir Park at the weekend, and they don't want to spill a point here when it's in their hands. But it's all about that balancing act, it so often is. Some comeback from the Dingwall team, and is it going to be 3 draws in a week on the road? Their 1,000-mile trek around Scotland is at the moment looking like it's going to produce 3 away points. Del Ferrier plays it wide for Yuan, left-hand side. Chipped in by Stevenson into the box. Nobody in green and white able to get on the end of it. Bounces in to the gloves of Laidlaw. And the Ross County body language at the moment tells you we'll settle for a point to take back up the road. Especially having been 2 goals down. The ball bouncing back off Jordan White. Newell was there for Hibs. Unloaded by Stevenson. Headed away by Nightingale. Jair Tavares, great feet on the halfway line, and the ball is drilled through, and Josh Campbell is in with a chance, and out comes Laidlaw, and he was offside in any case, as the Hibs fans were hoping for a penalty.
Yeah, it was great work by Tavares into Newley. That run by Campbell just inside the full-back, and it's a great ball. It just went too early, but again, it's a great chance there for Hibs.
It's been end-to-end stuff really in the latter stages of the game here. You could imagine any result still coming. The draw, or either team could easily be getting a goal here to take 3 points.
Yeah, there's still time for another chapter to be written. Hibs 2, Ross County 2, BBC Radio Scotland, inside stoppage time. Well into that period of 7 minutes being added. How much do you gamble at this stage, and how much do you keep what you have? Hanlon for Hibs.
Hibs will be happier that they're actually controlling the game in the Ross County half, because Ross County have been really dangerous from set plays.
Hibs looking to get the ball into the box. Flicked away towards Yuan, left-hand side. Eli Yuan, who's deflected goal, started the scoring, plays it back. Josh Campbell plays it in. Victor Laturi's header away. Hibs have it again with Hanlon. Campbell alongside him. Fires it out left-hand side to Stevenson.
Ross County got to get up. They've got to get out of their box. When the ball goes back, they've got to move. I think if they're just sitting in just now, it's that mindset is really difficult to change. But again, for me, they haven't really moved.
Well, they're sitting in really deep at the moment. And in the end, Danda hammers the ball off Yuan and behind for a goal kick.
Really difficult when you get this time, Rob. It's a really difficult time for the team. I think Hibs are obviously trying to force the play. You know, obviously the home team and Ross County are just getting a little bit deeper, and it's one of those, as a manager, saying when the ball goes by, you must squeeze the game, make it difficult, make the game condensed. You know, anything over the top from that area, we should deal with it. You know, and it's that hard, really, really difficult.
Goal kick for Ross County. Laidlaw thumps it forward, looking for Brown. Yuan wins the header. Then it's Nightingale, lofts it up. Helped on by Allardyce, and he was clattered into by Del Ferrier. It's a clear free kick.
It's really stupid. You know, I think this time of the game, he's never going to win the ball. You know, what that might actually, we'll see what Ross County's mindset is here, because again, it's a great chance for them putting the ball in the box. You know, stupid fouls like that are really, really frustrating.
Or it could allow them just to finish the game, because we're almost there.
So again, you've actually seen obviously all three centre halves. I think Baldwin's actually playing centre midfield now, Michael. But they're going to go diagonal, go long. Oh no!
Just slipped as he played the free kick. Did Danda? Not what he was planning.
I think Michael's cursed him. You know, he said he's put great deliveries in. He's had two shockers.
He slipped there.
don't give me excuses.
Is there going to be one last chance to win this game? Hanlon plays it forward. Miller knocks it down. Laturi turns the ball out of play.
Again, Laturi could do better there. That's put me a little bit nerves. He's just allowed them a great area to launch the ball into the box.
So there is an opportunity for Hibs to get the ball in one last time. We're almost finished at Easter Road. 2 goals each. Miller's long throw. Baldwin heads it away. And there goes the final whistle. And Ross County stage a very impressive comeback to claim a point at Easter Road, having looked as if they might be down and out at 2 goals down. Eli Yuan had scored first shortly before the half-time interval for Hibs. That deflected shot which went in off Ben Puddington, and 1-0 became 2-0 9 minutes into the second half, and it was Jair Tavares, the young Portuguese attacker, lashing in from 15 yards. Hibs in a really strong position and able to take the likes of Hanlon and Boyle off the bench and strengthen their team as they look to get the win to take to Hampden for Saturday in that League Cup semi-final. But Ross County were never far out of it. They got lucky in terms of how the goal came about, the goal that got them back in it. Great ball in from Eli Yuan, and the goalkeeper Wallacott, who looked pretty safe and solid, missed the delivery completely, and the ball went in off substitute Del Ferrier. And that was Ross County sensing that they might be able to reverse what had happened at Fir Park at the weekend, when they shipped 2 late goals and lost out on the big chance of a win against Motherwell. The goal which did claim a point here, their 3rd draw on the road in a week, was a brilliant finish from Jordan White. Simon Murray played the ball into him 6 yards out, took a touch, swiveled and crashed the left footer into the roof of the net. The Ross County supporters across doing a bit of the old Mutual Appreciation Society with their die-hard fans who followed them down to the capital and who will head back up the A9, delighted that their team have added a point to their total, and Ross County move into double figures in the Premiership on the back of a hugely entertaining game at Easter Road. Hibs 2, Ross County 2.